What the actual hell is going on in the UK? I actually think it gets worse and worse every single day. We're literally getting taxed left, right and centre.
When someone asks you what it's like living in the UK, what's life like living in the UK? Are you fucking for real?
Comments.
At what point are we going to stop being shafted by every single company out there wanting more money from us? Because I've just had enough now, honestly. It's just taking that absolute fucking piss.
Tell me, yeah, I'm not the only one who spends a fucking fortune on shopping. Last month, we spent £800 on food.
Can somebody please explain to me why the cost of a child's ice cream is now between £3.75 and £4.25?
See, I'm raging, and I knew I was going to be raging. We get 2 months off a year, right, where we don't have to pay council tax. We are paying council tax. It's just spread over 10 months rather than 12, right?
What's up, guys? Today we're diving into the absolute chaos that is the UK economy right now. I found a collection of people who have officially reached their breaking point with rip-off Britain. We're talking about lamb mints that cost more than a mortgage, water bills that make you want to stay thirsty, and the realization that living in London is basically just a subscription service you can't afford to renew.
When someone asks you what it's like living in the UK, what's life like living in the UK? Are you fucking for real? The government are so fucking corrupt. All they want is your vote so they can get into Parliament, and then once they're in, they fuck us all over. Kids killing kids. We've got homeless people that have fought for this country, are living on the fucking streets, can't even get a fucking house, can't even get a property. We're fucking working all hours God sends in us so we can fucking survive, buy our food and pay our rent. We're paying for a fucking war in Ukraine that is billions and billions of pounds that should be going to the UK. There's nothing to do with fucking us. That's what's like life is like living in the UK. Is fucking shit.
Bro, how is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes, and then they're going to start charging tax on the tax you pay so you can later pay more tax. Bro, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving in the UK, let alone thriving, when you've just got constant payments you got to make? And bear in mind, that's excluding your standard like rent and your bills and your food and what you need for actual survival. It's like, bro, we're all paying this extortionate amount of money for what? For the services that are terrible. I can't even go see my GP within a 3-week period if I wanted to. And then this is our standard weather where it's just great. It's like, bro, thank God. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I'm in a position financially where I can afford to maintain all these ridiculous payments that I got to be making. But it's like, bro, for the average working class person, bro, I feel for you, because how are you surviving, bro? I'd genuinely be out here on the streets with the regular 9-to-5 income, like struggling to even eat if it was all of these expenses stacking up and I had a regular wage. I don't even know what I'm spending money on. But yeah, right now it's looking really appealing. Like, I really understand why people are just selling everything they have and moving to Asia, because it's just less stress. You're not getting threatened from HMRC and random institutions every other week for payments that you didn't know you had to make. It's like, bro, like, I'm actually sick and tired of it. Like, I'm one bill away from just getting rid of this apartment, selling my car and just going to Asia, because like, bro, I've had enough.
At least the rain is free. For now. Don't give the tax man any ideas.
Had enough.
You know, they have a saying in London, you can't leave your house without spending £20. I'm on my lunch break for work, and I just went and got my coat dry cleaned, and it was £30, and picked up 2 cosmetics, and it was £15. So I left the house for 20 minutes and spent £45. So if you're thinking of moving to London, just know it's not cheap.
This is another reason we're leaving this country. We want some lamb mince to make a kebab, and it's £7.50. Look at the pack. The size of my hand. Getting absolutely ripped off in this country.
£7.50.
And I've had enough. City.
To survive. Like, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They don't do anything else other than go to work because you literally can't afford it. Like, actually, what kind of life is that? Like, what are we all doing? I think a lot of people are opening their eyes to actually what's going on in the UK now. Like, they're actually realising that we've all been kind of brainwashed into believing that we go to school, get an education, get a good job, when in actual fact that just keeps us trapped. And the lifestyle isn't even good here. The weather is crap. Everybody is miserable. I am literally fed up of being here, getting to the point where I am thinking about going elsewhere. There actually isn't any such thing as work-life balance for most people. Now, let me know, has anyone left the UK? If you've left the UK, where have you gone? Where's better? I need some options. Anyway, Rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Fucking piss. Supermarkets are extorting money out of us left, right and centre. Their energy price cap has gone up again. I mean, we knew that was coming, but doesn't make it any easier. Just everything. Everybody wants more. And when are we all going to collectively say, we're not paying more? We can't pay more. We don't have any more. There's no more to give. I mean, genuinely, how much more can people take? It's just like the Hunger Games at the moment, trying to get through another day, surviving in the UK.
Good morning. I've checked my bank this morning and my water bill direct debit has gone out of my bank. And this month, my water bill has gone up from £68 a month, something, to £81 a month. Can someone tell me why this has happened? I am enduring. I do get thirsty, but I don't believe I've drunk that additional amount of water in 4 months. I watched some MP ballbag telling people that on benefits that they could live on £70 a week the other day. I'm sure their water bills, in fact all their bills have gone up as well. We are absolutely screwed.
Welcome to 2025, where a 2-income household working full-time can't afford a kids' party. My daughter Mia is turning 8. She wants the proper package at the trampoline party with 9 friends, which is the least amount of kids you can have, 10 kids including her. It's alone for just the jumping and food is £189.50. And here we are, both of us working full-time, trying to figure out how the hell we can afford it. And no, not because we're careless with money or we splurge out on luxuries, but because after all the bills are paid, we barely have anything left to survive with. And I think this is the reality that no one really wants to talk about. This is the 2025 reality for most people. It's not a case of bad money management or stop buying a Costa every day. The pure fact that wages don't match the cost of living. Families are working their butts off just to stay afloat, and they're feeling like they're failing their kids, and it's just so unfair. When did giving your kid a birthday party become a massive luxury in life? I just feel like we all deserve so much better than this, and we shouldn't have to apologise for saying it. So follow me and share my journey, making an extra income online, building a following. I'm here to share tips and tricks whenever I can with saving and making money, so hit the follow button and join the team.
Bounce houses are now priced like beachfront property. It's getting wild out
So
here.
I can compare to see if I am doing something wrong. Because I can't cope. I don't want to do it anymore. I need to save some pennies. Maybe shopping or not buying as much is the way I'm going to do that. So yeah, please give me a heads up down in the comments what you spend on shopping, and if you think how much I'm spending is absolutely ridiculous as well.
Definitely going to want an ice cream when she wakes up. And it just got me thinking, the cost of an ice cream these days has significantly gone up from when I was a kid, and a 99 was actually 99p. So that's just a cone, an ice cream and a bit of a flake. Now, I'm fortunate that I can buy an ice cream and it's not a problem, but £9 a time for 2 kids to have an ice cream, like, it's a lot of money for an ice cream. And the cost of living crisis is affecting everyone. Like, if you're in full-time work, if you're in part-time work, if you're a stay-at-home mum, if you are on some sort of benefits or whatever your position is, the cost of living crisis is affecting everyone, which is why I think it's so important to have an additional income in 2025. So I started a side hustle last year in digital marketing, which fits in perfect around being a busy mum. I work on my terms, I work from my phone, I don't need to be sat at a desk or whatever. I'm working as we speak, filming this video while my little girl is asleep in the back of the car, in a car park at the park. Now, if you have been looking for an additional income, if you've seen similar videos to this and thought, maybe not, then this is for you. Comment info and I'll send you everything I know about digital marketing and how I got started so you can do the same. Don't hesitate, press send, let's chat.
0.8% increase in council tax. An increase in what we have to pay, but a decrease in the services that we're going to receive, because we live in rip-off Britain. I'm absolutely sick of it. I'm not surprised. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for the council tax letters, and it's just filled us with more rage. The country is on its arse. Yeah, we're paying more, we'll get less. We're paying more, we'll get less. Pay more, get less. Honestly, I am so wound up. People can't afford to put food. People can't afford to put food in the bellies. They can't afford to heat the house, but they have to pay more council tax, because if you don't pay your council tax, you go to prison. Honestly, this country is messed up. I wouldn't mind paying more. I wouldn't mind paying more if the services that we got were to a decent standard. Down here in London, yeah, especially the borough of Croydon, load of rubbish. Honestly, it's a load of rubbish. The place is scruffy, it's filthy, the crime levels are high, you can't even get your bins emptied, right? You're paying more for emergency services, I know that, but apparently you wait about 6 hours for an ambulance these days, and then you're left on the floor of a corridor, yeah? Corridor in a hospital. That's what we're paying for, guys, that's what we're paying for. Honestly, this country sucks big buttholes, and I'm sick of it. Anyway, I'm off to calm down.
Paying premium prices for scruffy and filthy is a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off.
Calm down.
This is the reason why most people in London are never going to be able to buy a house, unless they get it through inheritance or they have insane corporate jobs earning £250,000 a year or more. Alright, the first big topic is rent. Most people are renting while they're saving for a deposit. The problem in London is that rents are absolutely through the roof, and the majority of your money that you earn and that you're trying to put aside to build your deposit for a property is being spent on rent. So if you're spending that much money on rent, you don't have enough surplus to then start stacking and afford a deposit for a house. So you're in a cycle of just paying your rent, having to live somewhere, paying your rent, and then not being able to save for a deposit. And it just lengthens the time and the age at which you're able to buy a property, and just makes things really, really, really hard. Most people's mortgage payments would be on par with the rent that they're paying for the similar property that they're staying in. So for most people who are renting a property right now, their mortgage payments, if they had a mortgage on it, would be probably lower or same as the rent which they're paying. The problem is people can't afford to save for a deposit because they're paying so much in rent. And also the mortgage applications typically lend you 4.5 times your yearly salaries. So for a lot of properties in London, you're looking at zones 2 to 3, you're looking at £750,000 plus. Let's say your household income is £100,000, you can then borrow £450,000. So your deposit would have to make up the rest, which is £300,000. Who do you know who has a £300,000 deposit? So this is fundamentally the massive problem when it comes to living in London and buying property in London. It's just very, very difficult for anyone to get on the ladder. And then once you do, you know, all of your savings have been depleted to go into a house. And in my opinion, I like to have investments. I like to have things that do go up in value aside from property. And you just have no more exposure to stock market, crypto, or any other hustles you got going on. So all of your money's tied up in your house, and essentially you are house rich but cash poor. And for me personally, that's never a situation that I want to be in because it's just not favorable. But let me know, do you agree with my points? What are your thoughts on the housing market in London? Do you think it can be helped or solved in any way?
This morning, I want to rant because I'm stressed. Obviously, last month was the start of a new financial year, and since April, everything has gone up. My electricity bill's gone up, my Wi-Fi's gone up, even down to like employee NI. Employee NI has gone from 13% to 15%. Like this morning, I'm paying bills, 1st of May. I just paid employee and it's gone from 13% to 15%. HMRC, why? What else has gone up? My storage unit has gone up. Even my down to cleaning company is charging more. Everything is going up. We're all pretending like everything's okay. We are all screwed.
So not only are we in a cost of living crisis at the minute, if you've not noticed, the world is a bit upside down, which got me thinking. With everyone struggling for money and in such uncertain times, we all know I do homegrown vegetables. Don't know why the incentive for Dig for Victory went away after the war, because if the government encouraged people to grow their own food and actually supplemented seed production for people to buy, say at food banks, if they had a little parcel of land, I mean even a windowsill to grow some tomatoes or peppers on, or potatoes. But it got me thinking. This is the Dig for Victory guide from 1945 by Mr. Middleton. It's the all year round gardening guide. And I wanted to see
how they did it during the wartime, just after the wartime when there was still rationing. So I brought this online just to sort of follow along as part of a mini-series, follow along some of the hints and tips from this book and see if in 2025 Dig for Victory would still be a great idea. Like, with people struggling for food and everybody having at least a little bit of space on a windowsill or enough for a pot in the garden to grow potatoes in. I'm just going to go to this week in the book and see what the book says. So we're in the first week of February. I'm just going to read you a little excerpt. So we have a planting plan for the first week, the second week.
We've officially circled back to 1945. Next week, how to trade a button for a loaf of bread. And on that cheerful note, I'm off to go check the price of my own tap water.
So I'm going to read you the first bit. Plant shallots. Where weather conditions permit, shallots can be planted. Thoroughly prepare the bed, dressing it with a good general fertiliser, a little extra superphosphate or lime bone meal, and some wood ash. Rake or fork this in. Plant only good sound bulbs in rows 12 inches apart. In dealing with shallots, push the bulbs halfway into the soil 9 inches apart. Simple. In little books like these, they literally have every week of the year on. Every single week of the year. I mean, we've got some old adverts in here, which is fantastic. But every single week and how to help. And this was to help people grow vegetables during wartime. I know we're not in wartime, but we are in difficult times. And not only that, we used to grow such vast amounts, especially carrots, that we had a surplus of carrots that we used to have to send abroad. And it just shows that if, as a nation, or as a town or a village, especially if you came together in a smaller town or a smaller village, like food sharing, if someone in the village had a sunnier garden and so they decided to grow sunnier crops, and someone had a shadier garden and they decided to grow sort of shadier loving crops, and there was a sort of community vibe of sharing food, I think something like this would be much needed and much desired in these times that we're living in. So I'm going to be following a few hints and tips from this on the channel. So I use this in the garden for its little hints and tips for digging for victory. I shall let you know how I get on. I might make a little mini series following a few of the tips in this book. Let me know in the comments if you'd like that. But yeah, Dig for Victory by the great Mr. Middleton. Thanks guys.